Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Iron Whistle. I'm your host, Zachary Walker, and today we're diving deep into something every college football fan thinks about, the AP poll. Yes, that iconic ranking system that's been around since 1936, telling us just who top dog is every week. But here's the kicker. As historic and respected as it is, the AP poll is seriously broken. It's riddled with bias, hype, and stubborn clinging to preseason expectations that just don't hold up once the season kicks off. And if you think I'm exaggerating, listen to this. Just a few weeks ago, Florida lost at home to USF, one of the biggest upsets of the season. But somehow, one AP voter moved Florida up 2 spots on their ballot. Yes, after a loss, the voter, Haley Sawyer, ranked Florida number 14, didn't even include USF, and then refused to explain the logic of it, saying, quote, "It's fun for discussion," end quote. That's not analysis. That's a joke. And it shows just how flawed this system is. So today, I'm going to break down why the AP poll needs a serious rethink using the season's biggest examples, such as Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame, and Alabama, and a little bit of Florida. Get ready, because this is gonna get real. Alright, quick refresher for those who might be new. The AP poll is voted on every week by over 60 sports writers and broadcasters from across the country. Each voter ranks their top 25 teams, and points are assigned, 25 for first, 24 for second, all the way down to 1 point for 25th. They tally those points up, and boom, we get the official top 25 every Sunday after the weekend games. It's huge. It shapes the media narratives, fan debates, and even bowl invitations. But there's a twist to all this. The AP poll doesn't decide who makes the college football playoff. That's a separate committee. So if the AP poll's flawed, it's not just a minor thing. It shapes the public perception and conversations in a way that sometimes that's totally off the mark. Off the mark, let's talk about preseason hype. At the start of this season, Texas was ranked number 1 in the AP poll, ahead of last year's national champions, Ohio State. Why? Because of one man, named Arch Manning. The Manning name is royalty in college football. His grandfather Archie was a legend who played for Ole Miss, and his dad and uncle, NFL superstars. Media outlets like ESPN absolutely blew up the hype, calling Texas a national title favorite before they even played a game. Josh Pate, a YouTube analyst with 400,000 subscribers who also works with CBS, called this hype out early. He said, and I quote, "The expectations for Arch Manning were completely out of whack. The Heisman market is just a reflection of the public," end quote. Basically, Arch Manning's last name got Texas a free pass into the top of the rankings. But guess what? Texas has plummeted out of the 25. By week 7, they're out. This is a textbook case of how preseason hype, especially when you got a famous name, can throw the AP poll way off track. That's a huge problem for a poll that claims to reflect who the best teams actually are. Speaking of best teams, let's talk about Penn State. They started the season ranked number 3 and stayed in the top 5 for weeks. Sounds great, right? But here's the catch. Their early schedule was soft. According to ESPN's strengths of schedule rankings, Penn State faced way easier teams, say Miami, who beat 2 ranked opponents early on, including Notre Dame. Penn State cruised through what was basically felt like warm-up games. Play teams like Villanueva? What? Have you heard of that? Anyways. Then reality hit Penn State when they lost to Oregon in Week 6. Then they lost to UCLA, a team that was 0-4 before beating them. Like, what? How does a team stay in the top 5 despite those soft wins, then collapse hard? The AP voters seem slow to punish teams for weak schedules or bad losses. Instead, they cling to preseason rankings and reputations like a security blanket, even when performance screams otherwise. Speaking of performance, let's talk about Notre Dame. They're sitting at number 16 with a 3-2 record. That's okay. Here's the thing. Notre Dame got decades of tradition, a huge national fan base, which makes the AP voters kind of hesitant to drop them too far. This traditional bias means that teams with legendary histories often get a pass when they're underperforming. The poll ends up rewarding legacy instead of this year's reality. That's a problem, because rankings should reflect current performance, not nostalgia. Finally, we're going to talk about the big one. SEC bias. Alabama is the perfect example. They lost to Florida State. Then they jumped 7 spots after beating Georgia, a team many think was overrated at number 5. James Smith from Sports Illustrated calls this, quote, legacy bias, end quote, where Alabama's history and SEC membership give them an automatic boost, no matter what. Poll voters literally say stuff like, quote, it's Alabama. They have to be good. That's not fair or accurate. It's favoritism. Plain and simple. And it makes the poll less credible. Okay. I'm not saying the AP poll is totally useless. It's made some strides recently. The panel is more geographically diverse, which helps cut down regional bias. Plus, voters' ballots are now public, which adds a lot of accountability. And sometimes the poll just react quicker to big wins and losses than in the past. But those improvements are just baby steps compared to the bigger flaws we just talked about. So, after all this, what's my verdict on the AP poll? If I had to give it a rating from 1 to 5, with 1 being completely broken and 5 being almost nearly perfect, I give it a 2.5. Here's why. It's historic and powerful, and it's trying to improve, but it's still way too influential or influenced by preseason hype, traditional bias, and conference favoritism. It's slow to adjust when teams prove themselves or fall apart until it fixes that. Its credibility will keep taking hits. Anyways, alright. That's my hot take. What do you think? Is the AP poll totally broken, or is it still worth trusting? Drop your thoughts on social, and don't forget to subscribe to the Iron Whistle for no more bullcrap college football. My name's Zachary Walker, and thank you for listening.